Previously on One Piece, we saw a peek into how things were going for our two newest Yonko, Luffy and Buggy. These two new members of the Four Emperors were in a bit of a sorry state, all things considered. Luffy, very much punished for almost getting his crew killed, but hey, the Sunny stood up great. We also saw the bounties for the Straw Hats, which was left in a lot of contention by a lot of people. Meanwhile, we got a peek into how the Cross Guild was formed by accident. Because initially, it was supposed to be a partnership between Mihawk and Crocodile, as without his status, Mihawk was going to get flanked by a lot of Marines who he just didn't feel like being bothered with. Whereas Crocodile wanted to start up a brand new organization, but he needed a bit of that cold hard cash. So he went to Buggy, who he lent the money out to, which Buggy had none of. Ever since Haruden and the other giants left, it's been a bit of a dry season. And in an effort to not be wasted by Crocodile, Buggy offered his services of his entire organization. Unfortunately, Buggy's men, who are still worshipping him as a god, thought that Buggy was in charge of the whole operation and advertised as such. And the only thing that kept Buggy from being killed by Crocodile and Mihawk is the fact that he could be seen as the fall guy for everything going on. Buggy's life is in danger. We also got to see how the allies of the Flame Emperor were doing, as we picked up with the Revolutionary Army on Kamabaka, who were worried about Sabo, as he had apparently broken off back at Marijoa, and that's where all the tales of him killing Cobra started up. He's contacted the Revolutionary Army. What does he have to say? Let's see if this chapter details any of that, shall we? Now, I saw this immediately as I opened it. The fact that it's just Katakuri and Oven just decking each other. But this chapter 1059, the matter involving Captain Koby. Oh man. Alright, a lot of people were placing their bets on who was ultimately gonna come out on top in this fight, Koby or Hancock. But man, this cover page, Germa double sixes, an emotionless excursion, volume 18, Caesar's hallucination gas. So a lot of people were getting up in arms being like, oh man, how are the Germa gonna get away from Katakuri, yada 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 yada. A lot of people forget that it's hard to counteract Caesar's ability. It's gas. I mean, if he tries to go after you directly, you just hockey up and beat that ass. But when he just disperses it, I mean, he took down Luffy and Zoro by just gassing them. And hallucination gas, making Katakuri and Oven think they're fighting each other. I mean, hell, that's one way to do it. I don't hate the way that was done. Ooh, okay. Oh, this is interesting. Announcer saying, near Whitebird's hometown, Sphinx, the New World. And we see Marco chatting it up with the red-haired pirate. Oh, Marco was riding with them. He says, well, so long. Thanks for the ride. And I guess Shanks says, what? You aren't joining our crew, Marco? And Marco says, don't be crazy. I've spent enough of my life babysitting big-time pirates. And Shanks yells out, whatever, I'm not a handful. Tell him, Beck. And Beck says he's a handful. Oh, I love that. And Lucky Roo is just in the back, just laughing it up. With Marco just saying, see you later. Okay, here we're coming upon something that a lot of people were wondering if we were going to get the explanation on why Yamato isn't going. There's been all this discussion that there had to be something deeper, that just saying I'm just gonna travel Wano, it doesn't quite add up. So I've heard a lot of people saying that there's just this belief that Yamato is staying behind because of the attack by Green Bull. So let's see. Announcer, earlier in time in Wano, and I guess it's Luffy shouting, oh, you're not coming with us? Come on, let's be pirates together. You can't do this to us, Yamato. I think that's Sanji. And Yamato says, you know what happened, don't you? When that woodsman attacked, it was someone's incredible hockey that kept him at bay and saved the country. Kaido's not around anymore, but next it'll be guys like him coming after Wano. I can't just turn my back on everyone now. There we go. I knew there had to be something more to it. Well, I hoped there was something more to it. Because it just felt weird to just be like, oh, I'm staying and living like Odin by just wandering Wano. It's just like, that doesn't feel like it tracks. But saying I'm staying here in order to make sure Wano was protected, that's the one. And I had the feeling for the longest time, because I'm one of those carrot for Nakama kind of guys, but I was also getting that feeling because of the fact that Yamato had spent so much time and dedication to protecting Momo, and one of Yamato's biggest regrets was not being able to come and help Momo when he was initially attacked by Kaido after Odin's death. So I got this feeling that Yamato would just want to protect this place like Odin should have. Like, the big difference between Yamato and Odin is the fact that when Odin left, he didn't know there was any possibility of danger to his home. He had lived in his home for years and there had been nothing. But Yamato knows of the dangers that can be posed towards Wano. And if Odin knew what Yamato knows now, he would never leave. It makes so much sense. See, now Yamato is truly living like Odin. Yamato grins and says, you can't go adventuring if you've got worries in the back of your mind, right? That goes for me and for you. Oof, Yamato knows Luffy all too well. Luffy's got this big old frown on his face. I love it. And Yamato says, I want to be part of the crew. Call me your crewmate. And Luffy says, yeah, I get it. But I guess this way is more reassuring for us too. So does this technically mean Yamato is part of the crew? It kind of feels like more from a very loose standpoint. Take care of Momo and the others for us. And Yamato beams and says, I will. And Marco's just floating overhead watching. And Zoro says, just remember that Momo's got a lot of pride, Yamato. Yamato says, I know. I'm going to search for something to keep myself busy, just so Yamato can be around should trouble arise. It's the perfect excuse to just come running back if something happens. And Sanji's just on the ground crying, Yamato! And Marco calls out, hey, Straw Hat, there's a ship nearby that'd be perfect for me to hitch a ride on. I'm gonna go ahead and bounce soon. Okay. And people were even complaining about Luffy not having any kind of discussion with Marco too. So it's just like, no. Believe in Oda. Believe in Oda. It is kind of the fact that all this is happening after the fact. Luffy calls out, Marco, so you're leaving, huh? Oh wait. Luffy called him Marco. Huh, I'm surprised he actually remembered the name. And Marco says, that's right. And Luffy calls out, hey, you saved me during the Paramount War, didn't you? Thanks. And Marco says, at the time we all just jumped into action to do it. Why do you suppose that was, Jinbei? And Jinbei just chuckles and says, it was so long ago I've completely forgotten. A couple of old timers just talking it up. Marco smiles and says, I'm sure Ace is delighted to see how much you've grown since. And Luffy just beams with the biggest smile imaginable, saying, hee, you think so? As Marco flies off, he says, this next era belongs to you guys, so keep your wits about you. And Luffy calls out, sure, so long. And we see Marco heading back to Sphinx Island. And meanwhile, Island of Women, Amazon Lily, Calm Belt. Oh, okay, so they beat back the Marines. They say, it's been ages since men invaded us so heavily. The damage to the town is severe. The Navy will always come as long as I am here. Where am I to go? Oh, that's Hancock. She goes, sigh. At this point, I just want to be married to Luffy. Gloriosa says, you mean at every point? Oh, okay. I just turned the page and I saw Blackbeard. Don't tell me this is where Blackbeard said he was going. Okay. Alright, the announcer says, weeks earlier, wait, did their island get, cut? Who cut the mountainside? Jesus fuck. There's, chunks of Amazon Lily completely missing. I didn't even notice that at first. You see the Marines invading Amazon Lily, saying, we've breached the gate. Ah, the Kuja are fighting back. Send the new Seraphim pacifistas to the fore. You have Navy Vice Admiral Yamakaji. Yamakaji says Hancock refuses to show herself. And the person on the communicator says, please activate the recording cameras. Aye. So oh no. You see Margaret and Sweet Pea heavily injured. Margaret says, "Who is that? I can't fight a little girl her size." And Sweet Pea, who is on the ground, says, "Chapter, she's so strong, plus she looks like," and she fires off a beam from her hand like a pacifista. The ability like a pacifista, but she looks like a young version of Boa Hancock, but she has wings and a flame at her back, just like King. Are these genetic experiments? So it's like they've taken the DNA of a warlord, as well as that as a Lunarian, as well as the technology of a pacifista. I mean, are they living beings, or are they cyborgs, or are they androids? The Marines call out, "Watch your stern, all battleships," and they see it, saying, "Huh? What's that?" The person calls out, "Be careful, on shore, we've got pirates." They call out, "The Emperor Blackbeard and his crew have just showed up." Ah! And you see the boats just being rocked by the waves all around. It's a seaquake. The Neptunians are going to notice, right? Because they're in the calm belt. And you hear Blackbeard laughing. And he walks onto the land with Katarina Devon and Vasco Shot. And Blackbeard announces, "I've come for your pirate empress. I won't let the Navy have your power." Oh, he wants her ability, her devil fruit. Katarina says, "Maroon, Maroon, Ooh, Hancock, that beautiful face. I'd love to cut off her head to be my latest treasure." All right, she does that to people. She finds beautiful women and cuts off their heads and keep them. Blackbeard says, "She's all yours, as long as I get those powers." And Vasco Shot says, "Come on, don't you want to take her back with us alive, so we can be good friends with her?" Vasco Shot is a creep. That's noted. And someone on the comm says, "Vice Admiral Yamakaji, give us the order to attack Blackbeard." Why do you need orders for that? And Yamakaji just says, "Wait for clearance from HQ." And Blackbeard, just without looking, just sends the Marines flying, saying, "I'm not here for your lot. Get out here, Boa Hancock." And you see Koby running, saying, "I suppose it was inevitable that pirates would try to assimilate the former warlords." This isn't quite the assimilation that Crocodile and Mihawk had going on. And you see Koby coming in close with Helmeppo watching his back, and Koby's on the comm saying, right outside of the palace, "Please, Hancock, the Navy does not want to fight you. We'll simply take you into custody and leave, I promise." Marigold and Sandersonia peer down from the castle, and Marigold says, "Let us handle him, sister." Sandersonia says, "Don't get full of yourself, Koby, the so-called hero." Oh wow, they even know of Koby. That's kinda cool. Koby's got a reputation. And Hancock says, "This is nonsense and will not belong to anyone. I follow no man's orders." Hell yeah. Uh-oh. And she gets ready to head out as her sisters say, "Don't do it, sister." And it looks like some of Blackbeard's men are getting blown to shit, saying, "Save us, Commodore Teach. Nothing works against this one." Blackbeard just lazily looks over and says, "Huh? Whoa, you're kidding me. White hair, brown skin, black wings? Oh. I'm trying to take in everything I'm seeing on this page. You see a young child with white hair, dark skin, black wings, and a sword that looks very kind of familiar to a certain degree. And Blackbeard calls out, Hey, what gives? Did that one kid beat you all?" And as the kid goes to slash, I guess Blackbeard sees something on his chest. PX. Blackbeard reads it. "PX? Is that a pacifista then?" And the kid just slashes, and it just cuts through the mountainside of Amazon Lily. Jeez. Blackbeard, guess managed to avoid the attack. It says, "Blast it. They've got a little kid pacifista? What does it mean?" And the kid goes rushing in on Blackbeard, and he has to hockey up to defend. And Blackbeard says, "It's huge." I guess huge for a kid. So, the gigantification experiment? And I guess Blackbeard does black hole and just sucks the kid into it. Meanwhile, Hancock is taking on the Marines and unleashes her slave arrow, which gets several of the Marines as well as Helmeppo and Yamakaji. And Helmeppo calls out to the pacifista kid and says, "Stop the pacifista. He'll shatter everyone turned to stone. That's an order. Stop." Hancock goes to unleash another attack, saying perfume, and Koby's just like, oh god. Man, there's so much going on here. Ah, jeez. The fight got off-screened. You see Blackbeard holding Hancock up by the neck. And that close in, he's probably nullifying her devil fruit abilities with his darkness. You see the Kuja looking on, yelling out, Snake Princess, he's nullified her powers! You see Katarina Devon and Vasco Shot turn to stone. You got Koby looking on at it, just unable to do anything, saying, what can I do? Everyone's made out of stone now. So it's not really saying that he couldn't try, but it's kind of hard to do when most of your allies are all taken out. Oh, I didn't even see that. Former Warlord of the Sea, Pirate Empress Boa Hancock, bounty 1.659 billion. Damn. But Blackbeard, Emperor of the Sea Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach, bounty 3.996 billion berries. So many people were calling out that it's just like, oh, Teach is the one with the lowest bounty amongst the emperors. Not anymore. It's actually Luffy. So it essentially goes now. Shanks, Teach, Buggy, Luffy. So even when he's made the big time, he's still at the bottom of the totem pole. Hancock, caught in Teach's grasp, says, unhand me, you filthy creature. And Teach just yucks it up. So I guess the Pirate Empress title wasn't just for show. Look what you've done. You've turned all my idiots into stone. I've been hoping to get your powers. And Boa, even though she's caught by the neck, is still looking down on Blackbeard, saying, this power is nothing without my beauty. The next wielder of the fruit cannot undo the spell. Kill me and your followers will remain petrified. And Koby's just like, Boa Hancock's toughness is beyond anything I imagine. You're damn right, kid. Oh man, this situation just keeps getting crazier. Oh, Teach says to Koby, this isn't getting us anywhere. Is it, Koby the hero? You helped me out on the Rocky Port incident. So Blackbeard was a part of that as well as Koby. Oh, thanks to you, I was able to topple Wang Ji, former member of the Rocks Pirates. Oh no! I want to know that story! Making me the boss of the Pirate Island. So Wang Ji took over the Pirate Island. I mean, Shiki wasn't going to. But does that mean Wang Ji is dead? Or did he potentially join Blackbeard? Alright, so the only member of the Rocks Pirates we know nothing about, Silverax. Because, well, and Duuz-Diz-Din, he might be dead. Probably dead. I'm pretty sure he's dead. Could always not be dead, though. But Whitebeard's dead. You don't know where Big Mom and Kaido currently are. Don't know where Shiki is. Captain John is dead. Don't know where Silverax is, and Wang Ji might be dead. Wow. God, for Koby and Blackbeard to have a history together, that's wild. Blackbeard says, if I let this woman go, do you think she'll play nice and turn my men back? Koby says, I need her to put my men back to normal too. And Hancock, just not missing a beat, says, if you both leave without trouble, I will do that. Ooh, all the cards in her hand. Blackbeard tightens his grip and says, no, you're lying. I'll let you go and you'll turn us to stone next. And that's the end of it, ain't it? He's got a good point there. It's impossible for any man not to fall under your spell. I mean, hell, you and Koby managed to do pretty damn well, all things considered. And Blackbeard, with the coldest look in his eyes I've ever seen, says, I guess I have to kill her. And Koby calls out, no, don't. The human cost is too great. Ah, classic Koby. He's always caring about them lives. And then, like a G, you just hear rap music in the background, just boom, 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 boom. You just see the crackling of Conqueror's Haki as up walks Silvers Rayleigh, right arm of the Pirate King, Dark King Silvers Rayleigh, saying, you know, I expected a naval siege, but not one bold enough to change the shape of the island. I'm sorry for getting here so late, Hancock. And Blackbeard's just like, Dark King Rayleigh! And Rayleigh calls over, hey you, Whitebeard's cabin boy. This isn't very mature of me, but I never liked you anyway. And Rayleigh's like slowly pulling out his sword. Blackbeard looks like he's just seen death. Hancock calls over to Rayleigh, and Koby's just like, what? Is that the silver? These silvers, Rayleigh? And all the pirates just say, what? Rayleigh says, undo the petrification, Hancock. I'll mediate this situation. Nobody here is to overstep their bounds. Just behave yourselves and quietly leave the island. Damn. I didn't expect Rayleigh to step up for this. And cut to present day. Oh, okay, Shaki's here too. As I guess, not sure who's talking. I guess Shaki says, no, maybe it's Rayleigh who says, I'm just glad everyone's alive. Then someone says, thank you, Rayleigh. And you have Empress of What? Wait, Empress of Amazon Lily 2 generations ago, former captain of the Kuja pirates, Shakiyaku. Holy shit! There were so many theories that she was part of Rox's crew, but she was the previous. So we essentially have 3 generations of Kuja? Wait, so it was Gloriosa, then Shaki, then Hancock then, right? And that explains so much. The connection to Elder Neon, why the Sanderson sisters have been helped by Rayleigh so often. That is a connection that it feels like that should have been obvious. I don't think I've ever heard anyone think that Shaki was the former empress of Amazon Lily. And it's just like, why wouldn't she be? But I feel like there's a generation of empress we don't know about. Because Shaki is fairly old and 2 generations. Then that means there's a generation we don't know about. Yeah, there is a member of the Kuja, an empress, we're not aware of. Although didn't the previous queen or whatever, didn't she die from the love sickness thing? Or am I thinking of a different empress? Wow. Shaki says progress always causes trouble for someone. Vegapunk Sea Prism Stone paddle ships mean the calm belt isn't as safe for us as it was before. Elder Neon says the Navy seized their new weapons, Blackbeard's arrival. I thought there was Neo saving us. Rayleigh says, quite frankly, it was only the particulars of the situation that made it possible to save her. At my age, I couldn't have possibly won. Damn. In a head-to-head fight against Blackbeard. Damn. Has Blackbeard really gotten that powerful? So the Navy thinks those new weapons are a replacement for you warlords, eh? Marigold says, even by the end. Sandersonia adds, there wasn't a single scratch on those 2. It was so strange, because I could swear one of them looked identical to our sister as a child. That's creepy. And they got star eyes. Weird. Man, Vegapunk just poured everything he had into those. I am curious about how those were made. And why are they children, though? I don't know how I feel about that. Especially considering, Smoker did take those kids from Punk Hazard to Vegapunk. And we haven't seen Smoker in a while. And then you see a Navy ship and someone reporting on the radio. That's right, we'll proceed to Egghead. And dock the ship. As for the abducted Captain Koby. Koby was abducted? What, by Blackbeard? The hero of the Rocky Port incident, Captain Koby has been kidnapped by the Blackbeard pirates. Status unknown. Why would they take Koby, though? Though Blackbeard did seem to have a weird fondness for Koby. But the Rocky Port incident, wasn't Law involved in that too? Isn't that how he became a warlord? What exactly happened at Rocky Port? And why did Shaki leave as an empress? Did she have the love sickness too? Was it for Rayleigh or was that after she left? And so these kids, are they part of the SSG? And for them to give so much trouble to Blackbeard himself, Jesus, I was not expecting any of this. And I'm glad we got a little bit more detail as to why Yamato stayed behind. At this rate, the only person I'm wondering about is Garrett. What happened to Garrett? But regardless, tell me your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you think there's Lunarian children pacifista versions of all the warlords or just some of them? God, what if there's a version of Buggy and it's a badass? Weird. Well, I'm interested to hear from you. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.